Chill Out Records.
What's up, my people? Welcome back to the channel that now talks about how messed up it is living life in the UK. This is live. I'm your host, SG. First of all, I just want to thank all the new subs that I just got from the previous video that I posted talking about how messed up it is living here in the UK and how things have just gone to crap. There's a lot I want to talk about. I want to address all the comments that I got in the previous video, so that's the part one. And then the second thing I want to talk about is I've got more videos obviously to share, and I've even got freaking sample products here that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you guys of how the situation is on the ground here. I'm not even freaking lying, man. So let's not even waste any time. So let's start off by I don't know if we should start off with addressing the comments. First of all, I just want to thank all the new subs, each and every one of you guys. Really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for all the subs. Actually just addressing this topic actually has just made me realize, and the feedback that I've gotten from all of you people has really made me realize that these are the things that we need to be talking about. I know on my channel I've been posting stuff about women and relationships and, music and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all fun, but this is affecting a lot more people than I thought. And I feel like if we don't stand up and talk about this, and the worst thing about the UK is if you post this stuff online, if you talk about it on Facebook, people are getting arrested. People are saying, the police are coming in and saying, how dare you question the government, question the authority, question how things are going on, and literally just being treated like crap in your own hometown, the place that you've been brought up. You've been like, this is where you were grown, you're not a plant, but this is where you grew up. Basically, this is your home. You don't know any other place. And now all of a sudden the police and the government are telling you that shut up and don't make a sound, and how dare you criticize what we're doing. It's really sad. And I never knew that so many people are affected. And I just want to thank all the people that commented on my previous video. We're just going to literally just go through all these comments and just address all of them. Obviously, there was a couple of haters over here telling me to, you can get lost. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It's yeah. So Colin says best time to leave the UK was 20 years ago. The second best time is ASAP. Yeah, absolutely, bro. I absolutely agree with you, man. It's gotten to a point where, but it also got me thinking. What about the people that have never left, have never gone out of the UK, and their lives are just getting worse and worse? These are the citizens of this country. Why are they told to leave is the other question, because this is their home. Shouldn't they stand up and fight for it? Shouldn't they stand up and say, you know what, enough is enough. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with the high cost of living, the unprecedented levels at which the rents are rising. It doesn't make any sense. Salaries are not going up, right? How are we supposed to survive? If this is the situation, shouldn't we stand up and fight and tell the government something needs to be done, because we can't live like this. We can't live like we're battery cells inside a machine that you can just discard once we have completely exhausted all our energy. You just pluck us out and just throw us away and just replace us with another person. It's like, what the freaking hell? What kind of a lifestyle is this? It's really depressing, and I from the responses, from the comments I've just been getting, it's just like, wow. I thought I was alone here. I thought I was the lone feeling like, why the freaking hell am I working so hard and I'm still not able to save up enough? I'm still not able to afford a house. I'm still not able to move out. I'm not even able to buy something luxurious for myself. And we're talking about clothes and shoes as luxury items. Is that mental or what? Is that mental? Or am I going crazy? Is it that it's forbidden for me to just ask for like new clothes? I just want new clothes, right? I need to start thinking about, should I, what can I like not buy today so that I can buy myself some clothes? Like what? And then here's another thing. I brought these products so I could share it with you guys. So check this out, right? I bought these crisps just the other day. I'm not promoting these crisps, obviously. That I just bought them to show you guys what the situation is right now. 1 second, hold on. This camera is not aligned properly. Right, there we go. Right, so check this out, guys. I bought these crisps so that I could show you what the hell is going on, and I'll explain exactly what's going on. So you know, I bought these. I was like, oh, I just want to check out these crisps. So I bought these crisps, and I was like, you know, just got them for like £2.50. I think they were on offer for like £2, 50p off. Wow, amazing. So right, I went and bought these crisps, and these are the Texas barbecue sauce flavor. And right, and there was another one that was also on sale, and they were literally just from the same brand. And these are smoking barbecue rib flavor, right? So I was like, it's the same product, right? It's the same product from the same company. The only difference is the flavor. So, and the price was the same. So let's recap. So same price, same product, same company. The only difference is the flavor. So you'd be expecting to get the same amount of the product, right? You'd be expecting to see that if I bought this product, I would be getting the same amount of crisps because I'm paying the same amount of money. But this is what companies are doing. So check this out, guys. I'm not even freaking. This is not like a camera trick or anything like that. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see this crap? Do you see this nonsense? Look at that. I'm not even freaking like this is the situation that we're dealing with right now. It's called shrinkflation. Right? They give you the same product for the same price, but they just reduce it slightly. Like they take off a couple of chips, a couple of grams off the packaging. And they've done this with so many other products. And so not only are you getting less product for the same amount of money that you're spending, right? Companies are here telling you, oh, you know, it's we're trying to save the environment, or we're trying to, you know, there's a obesity epidemic or something. You know, people are just, you know, their weights are out of control, so we need to give them less product because we care about. Okay, fine. If you care about us, not eating too many crisps, right? Then reduce the price as well. Then, right? Because you're giving us less, so reduce the price. Why is the price still the same? That's the question I have, because this is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is absolute, utter bullshit. You know, so these are the kind of things that really piss me off. So you have to deal with this, then you have to deal with your bills, then you have to deal with the fact that your employer doesn't want to give you a raise because, you know, you have to be loyal and be there with the company for 10 years. And if you job hop, you know, people will not even hire you because you're constantly hopping jobs. Man, it's what the frick? What kind of a let me just try and calm down. Let me just try and calm down, man. Oh, okay. Let's see some of these comments here, man. Ministry of Pips. Yep, and energy costs are going up again this April 2025, and small businesses have to pay more expenses to the government this April too. So every business will have to raise prices to stay off bankruptcy. Unfortunately, higher energy and business expenses going up means customers will walk as prices of goods become unaffordable. Expect accelerating business collapse spring onwards. Absolutely, bro. 10 years with the channel. Congrats. Oh, yeah, absolutely. 10 years. Thank you so much, Miriam, for that comment. When you have to work over an hour to afford a pack of Bensons. Oh, man. That's crazy, yo. Story of my life. Mystery Maverick. Yeah, I loved your comment here. Story of my life. The bills go up, but your salary never does. So essentially, every year, you get poorer. You know, as much as they want to give you a free pizza or a casual Friday, that's not what we care about, man. Are you giving me a raise that is sufficient to not only cover the inflation, but also my lifestyle? I mean, like, imagine you've spent 10 years at the company and they just give you like a small 5% bump every year, maybe 5 to 7% bump. By the time that 5 to 7% bump hits your net income, your net monthly take-home salary, It isn't enough to cover the rate at which your bills are going up. And this is exactly what this guy was talking about. He was saying the government have now made things worse in terms of getting a pay rise due to the business tax increase. Last year was given £100 a month pay rise, £20 taxes and national insurance. Rent went up by £60, water went up by £10, Wi-Fi by £3, dentist plan went up by £5, gas and electric went up by £40 a month. So you have one source of income, okay, that goes up just a teeny tiny bit. And then all your other bills, they go up, like everything goes up, like, by like large sums. Like, look at the, like, water went up by £10, Wi-Fi by 3, dentist plan 5, electric went up by £40 a month. What the fuck? Man, this is, and yeah, I don't even want to talk about, like, if you're on a lower wage than what you already are. A lot of other countries look at the UK and say, actually, you know what? These citizens are paying two taxes. We're paying the national insurance and the payee tax twice. We're taxed twice. And then when you buy goods and services and you pay for things, you're still paying tax on that, right? There's inheritance tax. I mean, let's not even talk. Let's not even go into the topic of taxing. Oh man. London is not typical UK, and that's another thing exactly. So another point to make here and to realize the divide between the wealth divide between the UK, the rest of the UK, and the London city is so freaking huge that if you took London city out of the map, right, its GDP, you took London's GDP out of the UK's total GDP, and you compared that, it would be compared to the lowest income, the lowest GDP in one of the states in the US. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, that's how messed up it is. So there's a large amount of concentrated wealth centered around London. And then the rest of the country just like, we'll think about that. So what? Man, this is so it's like it's forcing you. If you want to get a slightly better paying job, you need to be in London, right? And most companies are saying, oh, actually, we don't want you to be working from home. We want you to come into the office. We'll give you a chair and pizzas on Friday. And nah, man. One idiot was like, see a paradite. I guess he doesn't know how to spell. Someone is talking about come over to New Zealand. Yeah, but how can we come over to New Zealand if we're not even making enough money to save money so that we can move out of the country if we wanted to, right? So you're talking about moving to that's not even happening, man. Oh, man. So, I mean, all of these comments is crazy, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys reaching out. So let's watch some more of these TikTok rants and see what these guys are talking about, right?
Live it.
The debt interest payment last month alone was 9.4 billion. That's the entire budget of the Ministry of Justice for 1 year. And that was the debt interest payment for 1 month.
Holy.
We're screwed. I mean, that's incredible. What is the government going to be spending money on? Where's it going to get the money from? It's going to have to borrow it at increased rates. And what's it going to spend it on, which will possibly be inflationary, as we were hearing too?
Oh, I love this. Just read this. All right. So in 1980, the average house price... hang on. 1980, the average house price was 23,000. 1990, average UK house price was 57,000. An increase of 147% in 10 years. In December 1999, the average UK house price was 75,000. In December 2007, the average house price was 194,000. Holy, that's an increase of 158% in 8 years. Imagine if you were with a company for 8 years and they gave you 158% increase on your salary. Wouldn't you be loyal to that company? Right? In December 2019, the average UK house price was 200. And You know what they're saying? He's saying average. He's not calculating the highest and then the low. It's like the average. So he's taking the highest and the lowest, combining, get the average. That's the average. That's the average. Who has a salary like this? And that was in 2019. By about 2027, if house prices increase at the similar rate, the average UK house price will be about 600,000. Holy.
76,630 homeowner mortgages are currently in arrears, according to data from UK Finance. This is small as a percentage of total mortgages, but with 370,000 borrowers due to have fixed rate mortgages ending in the current quarter, it's quite likely that arrears could be increasing in future.
Do you have any financial goals for 2024?
I hope to survive 2024.
That's your goal. I hope to survive. God.
Sad and depressing fact of the day. Now, this one really puts the house market into perspective. If the average UK wage were to increase in line with house price inflation, then the average UK wage would be 94,000.
God damn. God damn. That would be the average. Yes. If your salary went up at the same rate at which UK house prices were going up, that would be your average. That would be the average. That means there would be people obviously making more than that. The average, like your common citizen would be making that much. That's what they should. If you know what the figure is right now, what the average is right now, 34, 30 something, what the freaking
94,000. Can you even imagine?
So this is where I'm living. It is a dumpster and I've converted it into a tiny house to live in central London. This is the entrance.
No. I can't even watch this. There are prison cells in the UK that are more accommodating than this, honestly.
A little bit of an awkward entrance, but not too bad. And then once you come in, you've got steps down to the main living space, kitchen, and then the bed is up the top, which is where obviously I sleep. And all my storage is pretty much down the side here.
Yeah, so basically just that's your storage right there in a box, basically. All your life savings, everything that you've worked for, all your belongings, just try and figure out a way to like crush them into like a small box and put them in there. That's basically how you need to live here in the UK.
Clothes.
While people who are illegals coming into the country, they're living in 5-star hotels. They're living in 5-star hotels. The government's giving them all the amenities, all the healthcare, all the benefits, right? But you, the working citizen, you need to crush up all your life savings and everything, put it in a freaking box and live in a freaking dumpster like this, right? So that when the government snaps their finger like this, they can just hire the skip guy, come in and pull you out and dump you off.
Tools. The project cost me about £4,000, which covers all the materials and furnishings inside, so my mattress, storage, etc. So this is the bed, and it's not too bad. The curved roof gives me...
You know, the other thing I was thinking about was, you know, your parents, all this burden that your parents have on you, that when are you going to grow up? When are you going to move out? When are you going to get married? There's a lot of pressure. I mean, there are people in communities that, you know, they're from different backgrounds and they have this pressure from their parents and their elders like, hey, you need to move out. You need to be a man. You need to grow up. How the hell are we allowed to, how can we grow up when the economy doesn't allow us to grow up? The economy does not allow us to grow up at all, man. We're living hand over fist. We're just working to feed ourselves so that we do not collapse.
Near that head height here, which is fine, and I've got a little window for ventilation, and then bedside table for...
This is depressing, yo.
And that's because I have a portaloo down in the corner of the site. I don't have a shower. I go to...
Nah, I can't even watch this.
3 hours, yeah. Nearly 3 fucking hours. I was on the phone to a company to try help me with my debt and paying all my debt off, like consolidate, whatever it's called, like pay it off as one. 3 hours, yeah, nearly 3 hours. Is it sorted? No. It's not sorted. All my letters and my bills are on my bed. They cover the whole bed, so I've got to put all them away tomorrow, today, tonight. Tomorrow I've got to get in touch with more people to find out how much more debt I've got, because I'm in fucking millions of debt, like millions. And I just want to pay it off. I just need it gone. Like, the stress I'm under just because I know that I've got so much debt. No wonder I've got spots, do you know what I mean? Oh God, it's really hard being an adult. I'm fully never going to be able to buy a house. Me and Reese are never going to. He's a fucking convicted criminal. I'm up to my eyeballs in debt. We are not going to be able to buy a house between us. No shit. I need to pay it off. Brando's 3 hours I were on the phone. Do you know how stressful? Do you know how stressed I am? Worst thing is, the fucking customer advisor, whatever it's called, the fucking person that answered the phone knew who I was. They knew who I was from TikTok, so now she knows all the debt I'm in. Well, like fucking 5% of the debt I'm in, but that's still a lot of debt.
As to inflation since November 2022, Filippo Berrio was £3, now it's £7.50 and it's up 150%.
Oh.
Sweet and sour sauce was 42 pence, now it's 87 pence and it's up 107%. Brown rice.
Wait, hang on a second. Let's just go back there for a second. What the sauce? Sweet and sour sauce was 42 pence and now it's 87p.
Was 42 pence, now it's 87 pence.
That's 107% increase. Imagine your salary went up by 107%. Who has ever, put it down in the comments, have you ever experienced that? Where, I mean, even if you job hop, right? Even if you job hopped, you wouldn't still, the most you'd maybe get is like a 30% increase, 20, 25, 30% increase. If you job hopped, right? And or if you started like a bidding war, but you'd have to be like really good at what you do in order to even, get that started off. And for you, the average citizen, you look at, okay, it's 47p. I can afford 47p. It's 47p. It's not okay, and it goes up to 87. It's under £1. It's not that bad, but you got to think about it when you add it all up at the end of the month. These increases, they all freaking add up. It's, oh man.
Pence and it's up 107%. Brown rice was £1.50, now it's £3.25 and it's up 116%. Bistro was £1.89, now it's £2.80 and it's up 48%. 10 Happy Large eggs were
Nah, man, you know what pisses me off is, if these were like luxury items that went up like this, then that makes sense. That, that's like, okay, the economy is shit, and let's increase the prices on the luxury items that the rich people are able to afford, so that they can pay the increase to cover the cost. But they're increasing the prices of the basic commodities that the average or even below average person is buying. So how are they supposed to survive?
£2.70, now they're £3.85, up 42%. Mature cheddar cheese was £3.50, now it's £5 and it's up 43%. Baxter soup was £1.10, now it's £1.90 and it's up 72%.
Yeah.
Mayo was 49 pence, now it's 79 pence and it's up 61%. Stock cubes were 60 pence and now they're £1 and they're up 66%. Beef lasagna was £1.53, now it's £2.20 and it's up 43%. Pickles were 40 pence, now at 75 pence and they're up 87%. Pine bleach was 30 pence, now it's 52 pence and it's up 73%. And microwave rice was 38p and now it's 65p and it's risen 71% since November last year.
Let's go! Yeah? What 50 pounds can get you back in 2010, right? And then compare that to, I'm going to mute the music because of the freaking copyright nonsense. Right? Look at all that stuff. Look at you now with your 50 pounds.
Yeah, the cost of living is crazy. Look at all of this you could get. Look at all of that. That was only 2019. Look at that. They put that in a museum. They already know we're never going to get them prices again.
I've just had an email from Britain.
Yeah, you'll never get that's in a museum now. Holy.
British Gas. And if I wasn't already in a bad mood, I can confirm I would like to cry. The prices of energy and gas now are absolutely ludicrous and totally unfair.
Online man, them the world's coming to an end. Hold on. This everyday drink, 50p back then, bro. Why is it 65p, bro? Bro, life is coming to an end. 65p. I don't even think I can drink it anymore. What?
Really, just one slice of bread? Yes, Grandad? Now cut it in half. Okay, Grandad. No, the other way. This way. So clever. Done. A thin layer of butter. Use these for the cheese. Cheese and tweeze.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
salad.
yeah.
Delicious. So good. Mm. Now divide and label. There's only 4. Friday is treat day. Fish and chips. We're going to save a fortune.
It's almost like somebody's saying, how much more can we screw everybody over?
This is not a third world country, and it is an absolute, utter disgrace.
Nah, it is a third world now. Oh yeah, it definitely is.
I want to cry when I see it. We're not a third world country. We shouldn't have people working 2, 3 jobs and going to a food bank.
And what is winter looking?
God damn. Did you hear what he said? Working 2 to 3 jobs and then still going over to the food bank. God.
Like for you?
I hate to think what it's going to look like. I would like you just to turn the cameraman round. It ain't working in London.
Like the quality of life for working class people and just people in this country in general has just got so bad.
I could take you to a food bank tomorrow that's bigger than most little supermarkets. And they've got clothes and food. I mean, that's disgusting.
But I mean, this whole crisis, the latest one, cost of living crisis, it's totally fabricated, could be turned around in an instant.
I think that the Tory government are a shambles.
That's something to think about. The guy said it could be fabricated. Because if you think about it, right, maybe this is controlled by the government that they want to reduce the population. So to reduce the population, we make the country as shit as possible so that the people that can't tolerate it will move out. And so we only have the people that can tolerate shit. And those are more resilient people. And we can then grow the country from there. It could be a strategy that the government's using. They're doing this deliberately so that they can get rid of people. They don't want to obviously deport people themselves because that might be a bit too expensive. But if they make your living situation very uncomfortable and very difficult, you will just naturally move, isn't it? Maybe this is some sort of way to control the population. It could be. It could be. They're doing this because it doesn't make sense why you would bring some random people who are not legally supposed to be in the country. You'd allow them to be into the country and allow them to have a better lifestyle than the people that are working their asses off, paying taxes, right? That's the only thing I can think. That's the only thing I can think about. I mean that kind of makes sense to me.
I don't think they give a hoot for the working person.
Me and my housemate are pretty sure we're going to decline our direct debit for our gas and electric, but we'll see how it goes.
We're supposedly one of the richest countries in the world.
People's lives are being put before profit.
Labour.
Oof. People's lives are being put before profit, man. Damn. All right, let's watch this video. There was this video I wanted to share. This guy really summed up what I wanted to talk about. So this guy says 7 reasons to leave the UK right now. So check this guy out. This guy made amazing points.
Feeling unsafe, all right? And I think that's probably one of the most important ones. But I would just say that I think number 6 is the one that actually matters most to me. Look, I've written some stuff down here. I've got a lot of points. 7 is what we're going to talk about. But there's a lot of points within them all. So I want you in the comments, before you even hear, I know you've heard the first one, feeling unsafe.
Yeah, there's a lot of memes going around where people are wearing all these chain link vests and walking around London because there's so much stabbing and all that, going on. Oh, should I even be saying that word on YouTube? I don't know, man. I've just given up. We have to be censored.
I want you to write down what would be your reason of leaving the UK. So why would you...
Yeah, if this was a first world, right? If this was a first world country, then... We should be allowed to just walk out without feeling like someone's gonna come in and just do some funny business with your stomach. All right? There's so much phone napping, bike people on bikes just just driving by and just snatching the phone off your hands. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of theft going on in the shops, right? People are just going into the stores and just taking whatever they want and just running out, and cops not really doing anything about it. Then there's the stabbing that's going on. So it's all of these things combined. So how are you supposed to feel safe? I thought this was a first world country. I don't think so. It is.
You go. All right. Why would you go? You know I'm not going to go. All right. I'm an Englishman. All right. So I'm not leaving, but that's fine. Doesn't mean you won't. So one of the things about feeling unsafe is quite interesting to me because I don't have children. I've mentioned this before. Now, a lot of people do. So a lot of the emails I got after the last video, which I'll put at the end of this video, was saying, Tim, it's different to you, mate, because you don't have kids. And I'm like, no, I get that. I've taken that on board. I do understand that. The issue I was trying to make in the last video was about wealth generation, really, more than anything. Like people leaving for tax reasons because of these policies that the Labour government are bringing in. Now, feeling unsafe, yes, absolutely. If you're a father, 110%, you know what I mean? If you feel that you're in a city with people that are in your son or daughter's school that are doing things, carrying knives or whatever, yes, you feel unsafe, I would obviously think about leaving the country. Now, rising crime, gang violence, all these things we know about. I'll spend literally 2 minutes for each one of these points. Obviously, antisocial behaviour is on the increase. These areas, especially in the inner cities, are feeling safe. If we still recognise these cities now, Bradford, Leeds, Manchester, Birmingham, London, when you go to these cities, people with my skin colour are in a minority. The global majority now is obviously in these cities. And of course, we are talking about high levels of immigration.
Damn, that is just shocking to hear. Did you just hear what he said? People of his skin color are in the minority. What?
That are making us feel this way. So when people, I'm going to come on to the next one now, but we will cover a bit more of this. I think that policing, or the strain on public services here, and obviously the issues with policing, of course, are making us all feel less safe. So to leave the country because you're unsafe, or more importantly, because you feel your kids are unsafe, yeah, that's a major, major reason. Number two then, I think this is quite an important one. Erosion of British culture and identity. You know where I stand on it, guys. And yes, when you feel affected by what I say, it's because I'm sort of triggering something in you, probably intentionally. I'm doing it to myself. So this is me now looking at what I said before and going over what happened in the last video. And yeah, I understand. I feel triggered by that. I was angry in the last video. Passionate. We're passionate people. So I don't want people to leave. I want people to stand up, and I want people to support England or Scotland, Wales or Ireland. But of course, I understand that we've all got different needs. That's one of those things. So look, rapid demo.
The thing is, before he just makes his point here, is I feel like if you're coming in from a different country with a different culture, right? Yeah, you can practice your culture quietly in your home. But if you're coming into this country, you need to adapt. You need to learn to appreciate and tolerate the existing culture. You can't just come into this country and force and freaking push your culture and make your culture dominate over the existing native culture of the country. Then if that's the situation, just go back home then, right? Just go back home and practice that crap over there, because you're coming into this country and then you want to try and change it, right? You want to try and control the people, the native people, the people that have been here for years, decades, from the beginning of time. And you want to come here and start bringing in your own. You want to do your culture stuff, your cultural stuff. To close the door, right? Close the door and do it. Practice it with the people that are from your country as well. Do that quietly, and you don't have to disturb anyone. We're gonna let you do that in peace, right? But if there's native people here in the UK practicing their British culture, right? What gives you the right, coming in from a different country, to come and try and stop them from doing what they're passionate about? It doesn't make sense. It's like me going to someone else's house and telling them, you know what, you guys shouldn't be drinking soda. I don't drink soda. Back in my house. So how dare you guys drink soda? Those people are just gonna be like, yo, get the fuck out of the house, man. It's the same thing here, man.
Demographic change in cities. These have led to a decline of what I would say were traditional British customs and values. We know this. We can see it, right? We can see. So people might want to escape from overcrowding and urban decline. Yeah, we know that. All right, we know that. So this is the erosion of your culture, our culture. And it's a culture we recognise. It's recognised all over the world. We know it is. So a lot of these places feel, as I said before, we can't recognise these cities anymore. When we walk around, we can't see our own kind of people, as it were. And if you remember, prior to 1950, I think fewer than 0.01% of the country was anything other than white British. That's the truth. That's the truth. So we recognise, you know, it's almost going from a high trust to a low trust society, and that's the issue we have. So overcrowding, urban sprawl, poorly planned housing. Well, we'll talk about housing in a minute. I think, you know, that comes up here, doesn't it? Really, really does. Right. Okay. So what else then? Yeah, that comes up. 3. Let's go for 3. This is quite an interesting one for a lot of people, especially young people. I understand, and I am. Well, I think actually the number 5 is, yeah, number 5 is the one for me. But this kind of plays into a better work-life balance. Right. Yeah. We're being taxed the hell out in this country, aren't we? Now, I feel that. Now, what I'm saying is I'm not going to leave the country. I'm going to soak up that tax bill. But when you look at what your tax is going towards and who it's going towards, I just saw that Afghan migrants, and I don't want to be that guy that sensationalises this, but why are Afghan migrants getting £1,000 to learn to drive in the UK when there's young people getting no help at all? I've always said with young people, get them into a house, get them a job, and get them a relationship. And now, this is someone who's going to invest in their country. We're not doing any of those 3 things. None of those 3 things are happening. I look at house prices now and young people getting house prices, and I am like, how do we help people do this? Literally, how can you put people in a house? How can you get them in a relationship? How can you get them a stable job?
Yeah.
Without that, it's an well, I think it's a lost leader. But so if you can go somewhere else and you can find those things, a better work-life balance. Some of these countries, I think it was Australia, New Zealand, they prioritise a work-life balance, shorter working hours, they get more paid leave than us. I know America doesn't, but you know, do your research. Higher taxation, obviously we're working longer hours, we know that, and that means we can't build the wealth that we need in order to go and buy these houses. So we can't build wealth, so you end up paying lots of rent. We all know this, of course, and then that rent, you're paying so much rent, especially in the cities like Manchester and London. How are you ever going to be able to afford a house there at all? You're probably not, of course. And of course, we're giving a lot of these, a lot of immigrants that are coming in, of course, are on social housing, which is...
Yeah, before he moves on to the immigrants, you know, it's like... there was, I think someone was talking about this. They said that if you're on a low income, the banks wouldn't give you the mortgage, because the mortgage wouldn't be enough, because you wouldn't be allowed to borrow enough to buy the house, because the house price is so expensive. So you're not allowed to get onto a mortgage because you don't have enough money, right? So it's normally 4 times your yearly income. So if you're making 40 grand, that's 160 grand that you can borrow from the banks. But house prices, the average house price is maybe 200, 300,000. So you can't even borrow from the banks, right? So if you can't borrow from the banks, right, you're forced to then go into the renting market. And so you're renting, and the amount of rent that you're paying is almost the same amount as if you were going to be paying a mortgage. So what the fuck are we doing, right? What kind of a system is this? Fuck.
Creating even more of a problem because there's not enough houses to go around then for young people to get on.
Yeah, because they're not building
better
enough
business
houses.
and career opportunities elsewhere. Yes.
There was another documentary I watched where they were supposed to reach a quota of how many number of houses they were supposed to build. The UK was supposed to build by a certain year. They never met that quota. That's not even being discussed. It's not even in the news anywhere. I've searched it. Like they're like, oh yeah, you just forget about that. Don't worry about that. The number of houses that we're supposed. Yeah, don't worry about that. It's fine. But the cost of living is high. You know, the immigrants. But what about the number of houses that you guys were supposed to build? That you guys said that you're going to build by the end of this year, or you know, last year or whatever. You said you were supposed to build these number of houses. What happened to that? Right? So.
Better opportunities, freedoms abroad. Yeah, I think that's a massive one, and we go into this one in the next one as well. So I don't want to, but property price in the UK, we talked about that. Other countries do offer better value for money. I would say in the majority of countries. In the comments, tell me if you think I'm wrong, or say, look, I've got a mate went to Hungary and he's paying this much rent, and I've got a mate lives in London paying this. I'm interested in that. I do read all comments. I try to anyway. You know. Also, people like me, I'm a bit of an entrepreneur. I've got a couple of businesses. Apparently, business restrictions in these other countries a lot of other countries are better. Job prospects are better, lower taxation, a countries, business-friendly policies. Yeah. Now, my brother's in Dubai, keeps saying to me, hey, come to Dubai, Tim. Now, I run a business. So this is one of the things I wanted to talk about before we cover number 4. So I run 2 businesses. Well, two and a half, it goes off and on, doesn't it, with guys, like myself. But I'm paying a lot of tax. Now, if I went to Dubai, I'd pay none. So, my brother's like, hey, come to Dubai. I'm like, I could do that. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to leave England. I haven't got children, so I'm not worried about that safety aspect that a lot of guys are worried about with their kids, especially young children. I totally understand. So when people say, oh, Tim, you're going to criticize me for leaving, I'm not, mate. I'm not at all. I know who you are. Would I do the same? I don't think I would, but I don't live in an inner city either. And of course, if I had kids, I don't live in an inner city. If you do, especially if your kids are in a state school, not in a public school, I get it. I understand. We're all men here. We all understand the threats out there. So I'm not having to go at anyone here. I'm having to go at people that run away for better tax reasons because they're worried about the tax they're paying in England. And I understand that as well. And we come on to that. We'll come on to that in a minute. I want to talk about that a little bit. Number 4. This is a big one for a lot of people. Better weather and climate. Absolutely.
That is actually
the UK is a bit gloomy. It is a bit wet, isn't it? People get seasonal affective disorder. It's hard. It's not easy. Spain, Portugal, Australia, much sunnier, much more stable climates. I think even Germany. I really like Germany, southern Germany, the outdoors side of things. The reason I like Germany is especially with things like Nordic skiing.
You're dealing with all these taxes. You're dealing with all the immigrants. You're dealing with, the degrading infrastructure. You're dealing with all this cost of living problems, and then you have to deal with the bad weather. So you have to put up with that as well. So it's like, you're here in the UK. Let's see, how can we make your life even more miserable, basically?
You can go from village to village. It's amazing.
Even Mother Nature is like, you guys need to suffer.
So warmer climates provide opportunities for healthy living. They really do. Being outside, we're supposed to be outside. Beaches, hiking, outdoor sports, and better weather leads to stronger social connections because we're outside meeting people. So when it says better weather and climate, yeah. But I'm a pluviophile, so I like the rain. I like being in a car when it's really hammering rain, like the last video. I love that. You know what I mean? But I know people don't. But I get it. Number 5, this is the one that I think appeals to me the most. Again, hopefully you've written something in the comments now. This is why I'd leave, Tim, because when I read it, what we do is we find a trend. That's why people want to leave. I don't think this is going to be in the comments much, but for me it would be, and that's a desire for adventure. So we all kind of feel a bit trapped right now, probably post what happened in 2020. A bit of a monotonous regime, as it were. We're craving new experiences, we're craving challenges. We all know that. We know the economy is slowing. We know that, and moving abroad offers, I put down here, like opportunities to learn new languages. So as you age like me, I'm 50 now, I'm trying to learn a bit of German because I'm interested, but I'm also just trying to keep the brain a bit active, learn a new hobby, learn skill. And when you're in any country and you're surrounded and immersed with that language, you have to learn, even go to the supermarket, that kind of stuff, you see the same words. So your brain is active. I think that is brilliant. That's a brilliant reason for going to another country. Exploring different cultures, embracing a sort of a different way of life, a more dynamic way of life, maybe it could be. So, and
do you see how amazing that is? Like that mentality of thinking, like, yeah, you want to go to a different country, but you want to learn their culture. You want to integrate into their culture, into their norms, not having a backward mentality where you go into another country and then you try to change that country to follow your norms and your practices and your culture. What the fuck is that? That is such a backward way of thinking, right? You're going to a better country. You're going to a country that's way better than yours. Why would you go and change their way of doing things and making it worse? Oh, man.
Fresh start. Maybe you've had a bad relationship here. You know what I mean? It could be anything, couldn't it, really? You think, you know what, I'm going to go somewhere else. And people write to me some pretty angry emails, really. Hey, Tim, I left the country back in 1980. I'd never come back. And I'm not talking about these people. Because when they left, the country wasn't like it is now. And that's understandable. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people that are leaving now primarily for financial reasons. So when people say, hey Tim, I don't feel safe, or I want to go on an adventure, or the weather's rubbish, yeah, I understand all that. We're going to get on the political stuff now. Yeah, so there are a lot of countries out there that are growing a lot faster than us, believe me. This is 6, and we're going to wrap it up. This one is a big one for a lot of us, I think, especially on this channel. Declining personal freedoms, and I've written down over-regulation here. Yeah.
Oh,
government
yeah.
overreach. I'm a small government guy. I want smallest amount of government. You know what I mean? I really do. There's high tax burdens here. Believe me, I know that. We've got restrictions on what we can say. I know that. Literally, I lost a job because of what I said about the Royal Air Force with diversity.
Yeah. There's also that, man. Even me, like, I can't say certain things. If I say certain things, not only is YouTube restricting my content, but you know, I might get arrested or something. You know, police will be at my freaking door. Oh, you said something that hurt someone's feelings. Oh no.
You know that. I lost a job about it, all right? Had to start my own business, you know what I mean? That took ages.
So
my wife was not the happiest bunny rabbit in the box, believe me. Tells me that a lot, by the way. Increasing surveillance, that's another thing, isn't it? Look at my YouTube channel, you'll see the views dropping off. This is when I talk about certain subjects, it's throttled. And if you look at the graph on certain videos, you'll see them going like this, and then it'll be a flat line like that, because I've said something. It goes up, flat line. Normally takes about 8 hours.
I've got a lot of shorts where I've said something which is just common sense. It should be common sense, right? But it flatlines at 500 views. It doesn't go above 500. Look at my shorts. If you look at my shorts, they don't go above 500 views. It's like YouTube is like, only 500 people should watch this, not more, because that would be too much. You know, I don't think it's healthy for the public to see, to hear and see the truth, or to hear and see common sense, if it's not even the truth, right? But I mean, I try to be as logical as I can on my videos. I'm just trying to make sense of the world. That's all I'm trying to do. And even YouTube is like, only 500 people should watch this. Not more than 500 people, because it's just too much logic and common sense. We don't want the public to see common sense and logic. Nah, that's not good. It's not good. It's not healthy for the public. The public needs to be brainwashed with all these TikTok-y, crappy dance videos. That's what the public needs to watch, not common sense and logic. It's not healthy.
Flat line across the top, probably less than that, 6 to 8 hours. So there are some things that people don't want you to say. I mean, it's outrageous, but that's just the country we live in. It's amazing that it's the UK that's doing this. Do you find it? It's the UK that's doing this. I just find it incredible.
Yeah.
I find it amazing. Okay, so yes, other countries don't have this kind of online censorship or surveillance, really. I think that's the feeling of being constantly monitored. Some people, and this is why people are posting in there anonymously, of course, or on Twitter anonymously, they feel they cannot openly express their views due to that cancel culture, political correctness thing. And, you know, I've embraced that. I'm going to say what I say and come hell and high water. I think that's what Englishmen should do. But what if you've got a job and you're providing for your kids and you cannot risk saying that? Yeah, I understand it. And this is England. So I understand it. I understand that. Like, why are you contributing to a country that wants to censor free speech? But then again, I'm a free speech absolutionist, so I don't believe in hate speech laws or anything, but that's, you know, we can talk about that later. Countries with greater economic freedom and fewer regulations, well, you know, you've got to be careful, because there's some things I've written some countries down here, but there are some countries, of course, where you can't say what you want either. Even more restricted than the UK. So have a look and really think about those countries before you go. Yeah, there's things you can't say in certain countries. I still think we can say quite a lot in the UK. But anyway, this is the last one then, and we're going to go now. So more than anything is the political and the economic uncertainty, I think. When you're trying to grow a business like me and you're walking into tax hurdles like that, you know, like I am, it doesn't make sense to keep growing that business, because for every student I take in, now I'm pretty much hit with a higher tax bracket on everyone. So although my students are paying me like maybe 40 quid a month, I'm getting 20 quid. And 20 quid is going to the government, who goes and gives it to an Afghan to go and have £1,000 driving lesson. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden, that £40 subscription I was getting a month is now a £20 subscription. Why would I keep taking on these students when I've got to deliver all that you know, I've got to deliver all my experience to them and teach them.
Yeah.
I'm teaching students for 20 quid a month now as opposed to 40 quid a month. So that political economic uncertainty, walking into higher tax brackets, leadership. What leadership is there in UK right now? I've never known a worse PM. I would say Johnson was pretty bad, but this is something that we'd probably disagree with, but for many, many reasons. Conservatives were as bad as I think as Labour. Labour probably a little bit bad. Cost of living crisis, we know it's a massive one. Again, if you've got something I haven't mentioned here, hit it in the comments, all right? This is just the ones that I think are important. Economic policies, limited career growth in many businesses. I see a lot of people just stagnating. I know people trying to join the Royal Air Force again, and a guy wrote to me this morning. He's like, Tim, they want to assess my last 4. This guy's not even in the Air Force. He's out. He's been out for like 5-6 years. They want his last 4 reports. You get last 4 reports for him. They're asking him to come back in, but they want to assess his last 4 reports. He's like, dude, you're asking me to come in. You're asking me to come in, literally, and you're going to hammer me on these last 4 reports. It's like incredible. We're jumping through hoops here. It's almost like they don't want people. So with businesses, you've got to jump jobs every 2 or 3 years, and that might mean you've got to move around the country. And now you've got to take your kids out of school. It's a difficult place out there, and it's caused by instability within the politics and everything else. Frequent government changes, policy shifts. Obviously, I'm going to say the Brexit word, inflation, high debt levels I've got down here, and making just long-term financial planning really, really difficult. We're going to go. A lot of industries are in decline, really are. I think some of the countries around the world have looked at us and said that we are a declining nation now.
Yeah, man, this is, it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share these things with you guys. For those of you that tuned in and checked out the channel, I really do appreciate it. For those of you that subbed, I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. I think we need to get together and stand up for what we believe is justice, man. We need to have some sort of like freaking justice like this. We can't keep living like this. We want to grow up. We want to own our own houses. We want to live a better life. We can't just be living like robots in these shoe boxes of called a home, these cubicles. It just doesn't make sense that you sacrifice all this and you have nothing to show for it. It's not even held. Like, something will break. The people will stand up and say, enough is enough. We can't take it anymore. We need better pay. We need to be able to afford at least to clothe ourselves and freaking feed ourselves and enjoy a freaking vacation at the end of the year. That's all we are asking for. Just basic things like that, right? So yeah, I don't know what the situation is going to be like. Damn. Anyway, thank you guys for checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. And yeah, peace.